If you watch this video over here that I'm going to put over in the corner, this is about the Capital One Quicksilver card, which in that video, I stated that I believe I was in the Capital One bucket, which the Capital One bucket is basically where you can't get any credit limit increases. You can't do any product changes for any other Capital One products. So basically, I believe that I was in this Capital One bucket, but come to my surprise, Capital One sent me an email for pre-approval for the Capital One Savor 1 card, which I was excited about this because the Savor 1 card was actually in my credit card strategy. That is one of the cards that I really wanted in the future. So when they pre-approved me for this, obviously I went ahead and took the bait and I was actually approved for the card. I'm assuming I'm out of the Capital One bucket, which I'm excited about that, but let me explain why I wanted the card to begin with. Let's get into it. The Capital One Quicksilver card I feel like is a sleeper card that a lot of people kind of underestimate, if I don't say so myself. But first and foremost, the design on this card is pretty unique. No, it's not a metal card, but the design is actually something that I would say is pretty sleek. But let's get into the actual importance of the card and why somebody actually should get it. First and foremost, you get 3% unlimited cash back on dining, entertainment, certain streaming services in grocery stores, which this card can rival the American Express Gold card because it has similar multipliers, but the American Express Gold card has a hefty annual fee when the Capital One Savor 1 card doesn't have an annual fee at all. This card is definitely one of those cards that can definitely rival that card in my own opinion. At any point in the video, if you decide that you want to sign up for the Capital One Savor 1 card, you can use my link in the description. It does help the channel out, so I would greatly appreciate it. You get 1% cash back on all other purchases. You get 8% cash back on Capital One Entertainment purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel, 10% cash back on purchases on Uber and Uber Eats. Plus, get your Uber One monthly membership fee covered all the way up to November 14th, 2024. A lot of those things I do use in my personal life, so that will actually come in handy for me. And I know there's a lot of other people that probably in the same similar situation that use all of those places and get all those points and cash back. And I'm actually an individual that loves using Uber Eats. I use it quite frequently, more than I would like to, but I definitely could see myself using those credits and getting that 10% cash back on Uber and Uber Eats. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that fall into that category. And I feel like this is probably one of the best cards for that, but you have to utilize it before November 14th, 2024. But I'm sure they probably could have something else going on at the time, but currently that is the deal they're running. So if I was you, I would utilize that if I had the Capital One Savor 1 card, or you can sign up for it in the link in the description. And when I say this card has a lot of things to offer, I'm just going to list off a few things that this card offers to the card holder. And it's kind of a long list, so stick with me here. No foreign transaction fees, extended warranties, travel accident insurance, instant purchase notification, 24-hour travel assistance services, Capital One shopping, shop with your rewards, redeem your rewards with PayPal. You also have Capital One travel, Capital One dining, Capital One entertainment, security alerts, $0 fraud liability, virtual card numbers, card lock, credit-wise, auto pay, balance transfer, the mobile app, and authorized users. And like I said, is a hefty list, so I hope you stuck with me for that. But that's all the things that Capital One Savor 1 offers. And I'm sure I'm missing some things, but that's a lot of good things in one card, and it can easily be utilized if you do it the right way. You can also earn $200 whenever you spend $500 within the first 3 months. And if that's something you do naturally, then that is actually a very good deal. But if you have to go out of your way to spend $500, I would say avoid it at all costs. And it is a 0% intro APR for the first 15 months of holding the card. With a personal card, I would not advise you to utilize that because you do not want to go over 30% on a personal car, and you're probably thinking, as long as I spend 10%, I still won't get any interest on the car, but it's better to play it safe than to be sorry. And yeah, that's really everything I have on the Capital One Savor 1 car. I am excited that I did get approved for it, and I'll probably do a follow-up video once I had it for 6 months or so, and I can tell you my experience with it, how I utilized it, and where did it really shine at and where it didn't shine at. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.